Hello everyone, my name is Chipa Balindo and welcome to another episode of my podcast. Para namang ang dami-dami kong episode ng podcast nito. So, I finally bought another microphone because I want the aesthetics of this and I want it to feel like an actual podcaster. A lot of my followers have been asking me to do a video about my travel, especially my recent Umrah because it was DIY'd. And since I've been meaning to actually start a podcast for about a year now, I think you probably know that already. Matagal ko nang gustong magsimula ng podcast. And yeah, I think this is the perfect time to actually do it. Very ma-effort, diba? Ayokong mag-blabber na lang dito ng kung ano-ano. So I wanted to make sure na everything is in order as much as possible, as much as I can. You know me, my brain sometimes is nagsisegue siya. So, para maiwasan ko yon, kung gusto mong malaman paano mag-DIY Umrah, keep on watching. Before anything else, I wanted to have a disclaimer para klaro tayong lahat. I'm gonna try my very best na magsalita ng Tagalog when it comes to explaining things. But, hindi ko mapapromise talaga. Englishera ako, Char. So, I'm gonna try my best to do this in Tagalog. Ay, English naman siya. Susubukan kong gawin to sa Tagalog as much as I can. My problem is, I am not that hindi gaano kalaki yung vocabulary ko sa Tagalog when it comes to explaining things. So, I have a wider vocabulary in English compared to Tagalog. But it does not mean na bobo ako sa Tagalog. I am very much fluent in Tagalog, but when it comes to explaining the things with things, I'm much more comfortable doing it in English. I'm just more comfortable using the English language since mas marami akong alam na alam na words. Next disclaimer. So that's my first disclaimer. Second disclaimer. If you don't like me and you're gonna be annoyed seeing me or listening to my voice, then don't watch. Because this is long. This is gonna be long. Wag kang manood because we don't want haters out there. YouTube is getting smaller and smaller. If you want to be a hater, do it on Facebook or somewhere else. But in this podcast, we do not tolerate haters. If you don't like what you're seeing, if you don't like what you're watching, if you don't like what you're hearing, then why are you bothering yourself in watching me? So don't. So, ganun lang. If you're a hater, just go away. Next, since I will be talking about DIY Umrah, a lot of people will expect na kailangan isang Islamic scholar or a sheikh yung magsalita about sa pagta-travel sa Saudi Arabia. If you are the type of person na hindi ka comfortable makinig sa mga if you are the type of person na hindi ka comfortable makinig sa mga ordinary person when it comes to explaining things, then this video is not for you. Gusto mo, mag-search ka na lang ng iba at alamin mo kung ano yung gusto mong malaman. But, for this video, I will be talking about my personal experience and I'm not a sheikh or I'm not an Islamic scholar. I'm just an ordinary human being. Lahat na tayo ordinary yun. Ano daw? So, I'm just an ordinary person. So, if you don't like hearing it from me, then don't listen, okay? Tagalog, kung ayaw mong makinig sa akin, na nanggagaling sa akin yung explanation, then wag kang makinig. Hindi yung ayaw mong makarinig ng galing sa ordinary person, tapos may kinig ka, tapos magko-comment ka ng kung ano-ano. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that everyone that's left is somebody or someone that actually want to listen to me. So I will be more comfortable in talking after all of that disclaimer. First thing first, before anything else, alamin muna natin kung ano yung difference ng Umrah at ano yung Hajj. Kasi madalas nalilito kayo. Madalas nalilito yung mga hindi pa nakakapag-Umrah, hindi pa nakakapag-Hajj. Ano ba yun? Ano ba yung difference ng Umrah at yung Hajj? Umrah is what they call a minor pilgrimage or mini Hajj. It's not fully Hajj, pero may mga ginagawa sa Umrah na ginagawa rin sa Hajj. Pero yung ginagawa sa Hajj ay hindi lahat ginagawa sa Umrah. Gets nyo ba ako? So, Umrah can be done any time of the year. There is no specific time na kailangan dito ka mag-umra na date, dito ka mag-umra na month, wala. Any day, any time, any hour, pwede kang mag-umra. December, Ramadan, yan yung pinaka parang peak season ng umra. So, yung mga tao, nag-uumra talaga sila Ramadan or December. December kasi malamig, Ramadan kasi times 177,000 yung blessing niya kapag nag-uumra ka ng Ramadan. At meron tayong mga iba't ibang hadith that explains the blessings kapag nag-uumra ka ng Ramadan. But you can do it any time of the month or any time of the year. Any time pwede kang mag-umra. Now for Hajj. For Hajj, mas stricto ito. Meron itong fina-follow na specific time. So, a month after Ramadan, yung Dhul Hijjah, yun yung time na mag-hajj ka. That's the only specific time na pwede kang mag-hajj. Because the rest of the month ay hindi siya considered na hajj. And hajj, pilgrimage, meron siyang process. Mas matagal siya. Meron siyang specific process na fina-follow para masabi na ikaw ay nag-hajj or isang hajja. So that's the difference between umrah and hajj. And umrah can be done anytime, can be done by anyone, while hajj, it can only be done on a specific time in a specific month, and you're following a specific process, and it's required for all Muslims na kaya na mag-hajj. But umrah, hindi siya required. It's more of a sunnah. Kasi minsan naalala ko kapag sa nung first time kong mag-umrah, pinuntahan ako nung mga pinsan ko. Tapos ay, hajj ka na? Nag-hajja ka na? Ko, hindi. Nag-umrah lang ako. Ang major thing na ginagawa niyo sa umrah, magtatawaf kayo. This is circling the Kaaba. And then, mag-sa'i, yung running from Safa and Marwa, and then guguntingin niyo yung buhok or magka-cut or magte-trim ka ng hair, and then that's it. It can be done in a day, it can be done in 2 hours. Usually pag kami, 2 to 3 hours natatapos namin yung umrah namin, and yun na yun. While sa Hajj, marami kang gagawin. Part lang yung yung tawaf na yun dun sa umrah, pero before that, meron pa kayong gagawin. Merong day of Arafah, may stoning pa, marami pa kayong gagawin. But in this video, we're gonna focus on umrah. I have written it here. So, bakit nga ba maraming tao ang gumagawa ng umrah during Ramadan? Kasi during the holy month, sobrang daming rewards na natatanggap. And this is one of the hadith by Sahih al-Bukhari. I even research about this because I don't want to blabber, okay? Go ahead and do your research as well para mas meron kayong mas kampante yung utak nyo. So, the reward for an accepted umrah is equal of that of Hajj. And the reward for an accepted Hajj is nothing less than paradise. Na meron pa akong alam na isa na parang kapag nag-uumrah ka during Ramadan, it's like you're doing umrah or hajj with the Prophet. Kaya napaka-peak season talaga ng Ramadan. Ito yung pinaka-best time na mag-umrah ka. If you're trying na mag-ipon ng pera to do umrah, then the best time is to do it in Ramadan. But kung hindi siya Ramadan, you can actually do it anytime, any month, pero yung best time talaga is during Ramadan. So now na na-explain na natin yung difference ng umrah and hajj, kung bakit maraming nag-uumrah sa Ramadan, at kung ano yung ginagawa sa umrah, now it's time to talk about my experience. It was actually my very first international trip. I'm sorry, I have to lean back. I'm getting tired. Lahat ng umrah namin, they are DIY. Never akong nag-try with an agency, but if it's your first time to do umrah, doing it with an agency is actually the best and easiest way to go to umrah. But we'll touch on that a little bit later. So, ano yung difference when it comes to DIY? DIY, baka may hindi pa alam ko ng DIY. It's do it yourself. And if you're booking with a travel agency, they will do everything for you. Ang gagawin mo lang ay upo ka ng eroplano, darating ka sa hotel, you're gonna do umrah, And yeah, that's it. That's basically the easiest way to do Umrah. And I suggest if you're a first timer, mag-book kayo sa mga trusted agency like Umrah Hajj agency para hindi na kayo mahirapan. If you're doing it traveling alone or wala kayong mahram, grupo kayo ng mga babae, ayun, mag-travel agency kayo kasi mas madali. DIY does not mean it's cheaper. In reality, it is actually much more expensive kapag nagdi-DIY ka compare kapag nagta-travel agency ka. So, before you go on and be like, oh, I wanna do it DIY kasi mas nakakamura ako. No! No! But, the difference is, mas kontrolado mo lahat ng bagay. Yung oras mo, kung saan ka mag-hotel, yung airline mo, everything is in your preference. So that's the best thing about doing it DIY. Compare if you're doing it on a travel agency, they book everything for you, so you don't really have much of choice except kung depende sa agency kung saan ka nagbo-book, kung ano ba sila. 3-star ba sila? 4-star ba sila? Are they like the premium type or the more affordable type? Really depends. So, why DIY ba ako palagi? Here's the thing. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. My personality is I like organizing things. I like leading things. I like doing projects. I love being busy. I love traveling. I just love the idea of doing so many things, like organizing stuff for other people. That's why it works for me. Like doing DIY, booking my own hotels, my airlines and all of that, my tickets and everything. I love doing it. It's my personality. Ganun talaga yung mga bet kong gawin. Ganun yung mga gusto kong gawin. I don't want to pay and then relax. ang gusto ko marami akong ginagawa. So I am more of an adventurer compared to being a vacationer. And I love doing it. Like, it satisfies my soul. So, kung hindi ka ganon, I don't really recommend doing DIY for you. Kung gusto mo, wala ka nang gagawin, magbabayad ka lang, and then everything is laid down for you, better do it with a travel agency. There are so many travel agency na meron sa Pilipinas, but you have to choose carefully para ma-avoid mo yung scamming. You don't want to be scammed. May mga travel agency, they offer less than 100k and then package na siya, merong 150k, that's affordable na for the whole trip. And then meron na namang 200, may 250,000, the premiums they have 300,000, really depends. A lot of choices meron, but you just have to search kung sino yung pinaka best that works good for you, kung saan match yung personality mo. Like, example, maarte ka, and then, you book yung agency or kay Shaik na 100k or less than 100k yung kanyang whole package, and you were expecting something premium or luxurious. Girl, okay ka lang. You get what you pay for, okay? So, how do I actually do it? The very first thing you need is money. No, I'm just joking. Not really. A lot of people think that what's stopping them from doing Umrah is budget. It's not. Yeah, ako rin. Ganun din ako dati. Sabi ko, sinasabi mo lang yan kasi may pera ka. Pero kaming mga walang budget, di namin. No. I had that mentality as well. I had that mindset before intending to do Umrah or travel in Saudi Arabia. Wala yan sa plano ko kasi ang plano ko nun is sabi ko pag may asawa ako, mag-hatch kaming dalawang magta-travel, blah, 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 ganyan, mag-iipon ako ng pera, ganyan, ganyan. Let me tell you something I truly, truly believe in. There are a lot of people out there who have money, but they are not invited by Allah. So, hindi sila nagkakaroon ng feeling of, wanting to do Umrah or to do Hajj because they're not invited pa by Allah. Umrah and Hajj is by invitation of Allah and not just of money. That's why you make dua first, an intention that you want to go to Umrah and you want to go to Hajj, and it follows along. If it's for you, magkakaroon yan ng paraan. Kahit anumang paraan, magkakaroon yan. Kasi, bilangin nyo lahat ng kakilala nyo na mayaman. Pero hindi sila mahilig mag-umrah. Hindi sila mahilig mag-hajj. At bilangin nyo lahat ng taong average lang. But it feels like addicted sila na pumunta ng umrah year by year. That's the reason why I believe it's by invitation and not by money. Kasi if you go to umrah and if you see people there, most of them wala silang pera, wala silang budget. Talagang ang hinahabol lang nila ay ticket na makarating doon. And they are provided. Parang darating lang talaga yung blessing pag nandun na. So, very first umrah ko, like I said, I was not planning it. Wala talaga siya sa plano ko. It's not on my bucket list. Not that I don't want to. It's just not on my bucket list at that time. Kasi I feel like, oh no, I was still young. Ganyan. I don't have a husband yet. Gusto ko yung maharam ko yung kasama ko. Ganun. So, it was not on my plan. I only found out na mag-umrah ako noong 7 days before I went to umrah. It was not planned at all. My father, my dad, mag-uumrah sila ng mama ko. Dalawa sila, supposedly, on February. But a week before that, hindi natuloy yung nanay ko kasi meron siyang, I don't know, something came up. I think it's business related or I cannot remember anymore. I was in Cotabato City and they're staying in Metro Manila. I was working and then tinawagan ako ng tatay ko. Sabi niya, ibigay mo sa akin yung passport mo, tapos mag-uumrah tayo. What? I have never been out of the country that time. Talaga? Sige, go. Sabi ko, bakit kaya ganun, no? Bakit ba kung sino pa yung hindi wala sa plano niya, siya pa yung nakakapag-umrah. And then, after that, I didn't even know what to bring. I don't know what to wear. I was just like, Bismillah, let's go. Ganun lang yun. Ay, happy-go-lucky lang ako nung time na yun. And looking back, it was the best decision ever. Like, sabi ko, paano, it was such a fulfilling thing. It was my most favorite umrah of all time because it was unexpected, wala sa plano. But if it's meant for you, it's for you. May pera ka man o wala, if it's meant for you, it's for you. Hindi ko alam at hindi ko maalala kung anong dua yung dinua ko para makarating dun. But I needed that. I needed that at that moment. So for the second time around, we went to Umrah. I was with my whole family. I was with my parents and then I was with my husband. Kasal na ako nung time na yon. And for that one, hindi rin namin alam. Diba? Pag nag-uumrah ako, it was never planned actually. Pag nag-uumrah ako, sabi ko nga, nakakatawa nga kasi parang every umrah ko, hindi siya yung pinlano ng isang taon, pinlano ng ilang buwan. It's always a few days away before my actual travel. Nalaman namin siya 10 days. And in-invite kami ng parents like, do you want to go with Umrah? I said, okay, we want to go kasi si Umar, hindi pa niya na-experience yung Umrah. And we paid for our ticket in Philippine Airlines directly to the website. That time, it was December. So, it was a bit cheaper than usual. So, nabook ko yung hotel namin around 3,500, 4,000 pesos per day dun sa Medina. And we stayed, I think, for about a week. Pagdating naman namin ng Makkah, nag-book ako ng hotel doon and we booked at Swiss Hotel. And it was a junior suite room. It was already a Kaaba view. Tapos na-book ko siya ng 17,000 but meron akong discount so I only paid 14,000 pesos per day doon sa Swiss Hotel na yon. Imagine my shock. Kasi ganun yung pinayaran ko. 3,500, 14,000 plus, ganyan. To an already good hotel near the area already. Actually, sa Swiss Hotel, bababa ka lang. Nandun ka na sa Masjid al-Haram. Imagine my shock when I was trying to book a hotel during Ramadan, nung Ramadan na. And for everyone who have tried doing Umrah in December and doing Umrah in Ramadan, you know the difference in prices. They're just times 10. I tried booking, same hotel, Swiss hotel. Pagkakita ko ng price, it's like 70,000, 90,000 a day. Wag na. Isang buong ano na yun, no? Pang down na yun ng multi-cab na sasakyan. And then, I look at the Medina hotels because the Medina hotels are much cheaper. Grabe, ang taas din ng presyo nila. And that's when I learned that most of these hotels, they up their prices during Ramadan and like, so, sobrang taas ng binabayaran mo. Sometimes, naabot ka pa ng 700,000, 500,000 para sa hotel mo in Makkah for 10 days. My gosh, it's so expensive. So, for our second umrah, ganun ang nangyari. Parang nawawala naman yung kinukwento ko. Nawawala bigla yung mga kwento ko. Ganun yung ginawa namin for our second umrah. We booked our hotels and we booked our flights. And then, sa third umrah na naman namin, eto na yung first time kong mag-umrah ng Ramadan. And it is the most expensive and it is also the most tiring, but it's also the most fulfilling. So, I was actually looking forward to doing umrah sa Ramadan because I've heard a lot of good things about it. Syempre, Ramadan yan eh. So, gusto ko talagang ma-experience ang Ramadan sa ibang bansa. And lastly, just recently, yung ginawa nga namin yung Ramadan na umrah namin, it was fully DIY'd. Paano ka ba mag-umrah ng DIY? You need these 3 things. First, you need an Umrah visa that you can secure via the Saudi ministry. And second one, you need an airline ticket. And lastly, you need a booking confirmation from your hotel. Diba? Ang dali-dali lang. 3 bagay lang pala yung kailangan mo. All of this, you have to do on your own. It looks easy, but you need to strategize. I'm gonna explain later. Comparison with doing it with a travel agency. If you're gonna do a travel agency, they provided all of these things, so wala ka nang kailangan problemahin. Babayaran mo lang kung ano yung nakalagay sa package nila. If it's 150,000 and nakalagay doon 15 days whole umrah, meron kayong Makkah, Medina, nakalagay doon kung anong klaseng hotel. It's a 3-star hotel, 2-star hotel, 4-star hotel. Alamin mo kung gaano siya kalayo sa Masjidil Haram because during Umrah, you're gonna be walking a lot. Dun pa lang mismo sa masjid, grabe na yung lakad mo. And you don't want to walk more kapag kakatapos mo lang magsay or magtawaf. Ayaw mo nang maglakad, promise. Nakaka 10,000 to 20,000 steps ka a day and you don't want to add more. So alamin mo kung anong klaseng hotel yung meron sila. And lastly is yung airline ticket. Airline tickets are already provided by these agencies. So, ang kailangan mo lang is magbabayad lang. If you're gonna do it DIY like what we did, again, you need to arrange all of these things by yourself. Let's start with the Umrah visa or the tourist visa. Kasi ayaw mong ma-scam, kailangan legit na legit yung Umrah visa mo, so you need to get it from someone that's accredited. Most of the sheikh or the travel agency that you're trying to get visa from, meron din silang kakilala na kinukunan ng accredited visa from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs ng Saudi Arabia. Kasi lahat ng visa na ibibigay ni Saudi ay from them para alam nila kung gaano karami yung mag-umrah sa time na yon, especially during Ramadan. Kasi minsan nililimit nila yung nilalabas nilang visa kapag overcrowded na yung Saudi Arabia dun ng pilgrimage. So, you need to get it from an accredited source. Our visa, we get it directly from people in Saudi Arabia. Although recent lang ako nag-umrah sa mga last few years, if you are interested in doing a DIY visa or DIY umrah and you want to get a visa and you don't know how, I am actually thinking of starting an agency, but it's not an agency. I'm not gonna be a sheikh or go with you for umrah, but I'm actually thinking of doing something na for people who want to do it DIY. If you need an assistance in doing DIY, I would make something like a page or an announcement somewhere sa mga gustong mag-umrah next year for Ramadan or any time actually. And if you need a visa assistance and you don't want to go travel agency dun sa mga package nila and you want to do it, if you want to do it all on your own, I'm gonna start a page, okay? I will announce it soon. So, kung kailangan nyo ng mga hotels, so if you need to secure a visa and you need to secure a hotel booking, you can contact our team. I will announce it soon. Would it be lesser than the travel agency? Yes, of course. Yun yung ginagamit namin for almost all of our travel. And just recently this year, ang dami na namin, kaya I thought about doing this kasi ang dami nang kumukontak sa amin na na-scam daw sila, ganyan. And then they're looking for somebody who's connected with this and that para ayusin to, ganyan. And then marami na kami nabigyan ng mga visa na yun. So if you're interested, I will do an announcement on that. Choose carefully. Choose wisely, research about it, make sure na legit talaga yon. Second one is an airline booking. This is the easiest that you can get. So for airline booking, ang dami-daming tao na parang confused pa sila, hindi nila sure kung paano mag-book, nagta-travel agency pa sila, when in fact, you can actually book directly from the website of those airline. Kung ano yung preferred nyo na airline, Cebu Pacific, Philippine Airlines, Emirates, Qatar Airways, Saudia, just type in it, saudia.com, emirates.com. You can buy their tickets mismo sa page nila. And the best thing about it, kapag dun ka mismo bibili, is you get miles, or these are the rewards that you get from booking directly from them. And kapag palagi ka nag-travel, you're a frequent flyer, kapag naipon mo tong mga miles na to, this can be converted into an actual upgrade or another free flight. Just about this last Ramadan, itong umrah namin, nag-book ako directly from Emirates. So, emirates.com, cheapflights.com, or skyscanner.com, booking.com, Agoda, Trip. Ang dami dyan. It's 2025. Make use of your internet. Make use of your scrolling on Facebook. And instead na you're scrolling for idle time, do some research. Kasi ngayon, everything is just a click away. Pag bumibisita kayo sa ibang bansa, I personally do everything DIY. Kasi everything is just a click away. So, make use of it. Meron akong preferred na airline, an airplane at the same time. I wanted to ride the A380 plane or yung dalawang floor na airplane. Saudia, they fly Boeing 777, 777, tapos direct flight sila. I'm looking for something na makakasakay ako ng A380. And going to Saudi Arabia, nag-o-offer doon is si Emirates. So, para makasakay ka doon, kailangan mong mag-layover sa Dubai. So, that's what we did. We booked Emirates. And then, hindi buo yung flight ticket ko. So, hiwalay siya. Nag-book ako ng Manila to Dubai. And then, I wanted to have a layover there specifically. So, hindi ako nag-click doon sa parang, sa bundle. Gumawa ako ng sarili kong bundle. And then, kinlik ko yung Manila to Dubai. And then, I choose the next flight na sabi ko kailangan almost 15 hours ako dito or magstay ako dito sa Dubai para makapag-ikot-ikot. So, meron 15 hours layover and then I book another flight na from Dubai to Jeddah and then I book another flight Dubai to Jeddah. Hinanap ko talaga yung eroplano na yun. Sabi ko, dun ako sasakay sa eroplano na yun. So, hinabol ko kung anong day, kung anong time yung flight niya para talaga makasakay ako doon. Kasi I really wanted to fly with Emirates dun sa A380 plane nila. So, you can actually do that as well. You just need to be very, very diligent at masipag. When it comes to hotel bookings, I have a presentation. So, you need to see this first. Like I said, when you're doing umrah, inside the Kaaba, kapag magtatawaf ka, magsasay ka, you will walk a lot. By a lot, I mean 10,000 steps to 15,000 steps, even 20 for a day. Imagine mo, after that walking, anong gusto mong mangyari? Gusto mo nang magpahinga, 'di ba? Gusto mo nang mag-relax. Ang sakit na ng paa mo. I'm telling you, sasakit talaga yung mga paa nyo. So, you want a hotel that's nearby the area. Kung pwede pa nga, pagbaba mo ng hotel mo, andun na yung Masjid al-Haram. that's your preference. You don't want to walk a little bit more, like 20 minutes walk or like 30 minutes, or even mag-ride ka pa ng shuttle, ng bus papunta sa hotel mo, kasi nakakapagod yun. Nakakapagod mag-umrah. So when it comes to hotel bookings, you need to remember that you need to be around Masjid al-Haram. This is Masjid al-Haram, for example. This is the Kaaba and this is the Masjid. At ito yung nakikita niyo mga tiles, and this is the clock tower. This clock tower, meron niyang mga katabing, etong clock tower, this is a hotel mismo. So, usually, kapag umrah, kapag Ramadan, kapag Hajj, nandito lahat ng mga VIP. Nandito rin yung hotel, na Swiss hotel, na sinasabi ko that I book for 14,000 pesos a day on not at Ramadan time, like usual average price nila for a hotel. So, this is hotel kung saan maraming tao ang gustong mag-book dito. And this is usually fully booked. And ito nag-range sila for around 15 days to 10 days of stay, around 500,000, 1,800,000, but never below 500,000. Never below 500,000 yung mga prices dito. Lagi yung matataas yung price niya. Ang ginagawa ni travel agency, na kapag sinabi ng example, premium or near Haram or malapit sa Haram mismo, sa Bin Dawood na hotel or Makkah Clock Tower na hotel, usually what they do is they will book one room with 10 people or like 6 people para hati-hatiin nyo yung bayad dun sa, let's say, 500,000. Maghahatian kayong 5, maghahatian kayong 6 for the hotel. Kaya medyo expensive siya. This is what you need to remember. Eto na area na to, meron to, ito yung tinatawag na Jabal Omar. So dito yung Swiss hotel, dito naman sa gilid niya, dito yung Jabal Omar. Jabal Omar is also a hotel. Marami ring mga hotel yan. So pinag-aagawan din itong hotel na to, usually fully booked. After that, maglalakad ka lang siguro ng mga 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes dito. This is the Ibrahim Khalil Road. Dito naman, yung mga hotel na affordable, pero malapit siya dito sa Haram mismo. These are still a bit expensive. For a package na 10 days hotel, 15 to 10 days na booking during Ramadan, yung isang room, it will range around 250,000 to 300,000. More affordable siya compare if magbubook ka dito sa may Makkah Tower, sa may Clock Tower, or dito sa Jabal Umar na umaabot ng milyon-milyon or 500,000 yung mga booking nila, tapos paunahan pa. And then dito naman, lagi rin itong fully book. Kasi yung mga hindi umabot dito, dito sila nagbubook. So these are hotels na preferred mo kapag mag-uumra ka. What you don't want to do, or if wala talagang budget, ito yung mangyayari. Ayan siya. So, ito yung tinatawag nilang New Haram. Pag sinabing, minsan may mga nasa-scam na, malapit lang kami sa Haram. Merong ito yung Masjid al-Haram, and this is New Haram. New Haram, pa-extend siya ng pa-extend. Imagine nyo si Masjid al-Haram, the Kaaba, ang laki-laki niya. Parang ang daming barangay na nasa loob ng area na yon. So, yung start, we tried walking from the clock tower up to likod ng Masjid al-Haram. It took us 30 minutes of walking para makarating sa likod niya. Ganon siya kalaki. At natatraffic din siya kapag ang daming taong nakakabangga mo. You have to strategize kung saan ka dadaan kasi traffic yung tao. Walang sasakyan, pero traffic yung mga tao. Yung sinasabi nilang Masjid al-Haram, malapit sa New Haram, mas malayo pa siya compare sa dito sa mga likod ng clock tower. So, mas preferred mo pa rin itong nasa likod sa gilid ng Jabal Umar na mga hotel. And you don't want to be on this side. It's a bit cheaper, pero ito yung sinasabi ko na malalayo. And mostly, ito yung mas mga mura. Ito yung kaninang Masjid al-Haram, ito yung likod ng clock tower. And then, meron tayong tinatawag na Ibrahim Khalil Road dito, yung daan dito. And on sa bungad niya, nandyan yung mga sinasabi kong hotel na affordable. But if you're gonna walk a little bit more, dun na sa bungad ng Mispala, mas mura, mahal pa rin, actually same yung hotel dito, pero mas habang palayo ka sa Masjid al-Haram, pamura ng pamura. But etong malayo na to, as in malayo talaga siya. Meron ka pang dadaan ng bridge, and then you're gonna walk here pa para dun sa mga hotel na yon. So, that's what I was telling na you need to strategize when it comes to booking your hotel. Kung kang maglakad ng malayo, go ahead. If hindi, then you better book your hotels around the nearby areas only. Hatch season, lahat daw to na fully book ng ibang lahi. And alam nyo kung saan napupunta yung mga Pilipino? Doon sa pinakadulo because we don't have that kind of connection with the Ministry of Saudi para maging privilege yung mga Filipino. So, usually, doon tayo sa kasulok-sulukang kaduluduluhan. And we only get this privilege if we're gonna do Umrah on a different day, on a different time. Kasi even Ramadan, usually, ang nangyayari, yung mga travel agents, they will book this hotel directly from the management ng hotel na yon. Parang bibilhin talaga nila yung mga rooms na yon. And then, ibebenta na naman nila sa iba't ibang tao kapag may magbubook sa kanila. Because if you book directly from their website, most of the time, it's sold out. Pumunta kayo ng booking.com ngayon. Maglagay kayo ng hotel doon. On a different day, hindi siya sold out. Pero kapag date ng Ramadan, fully sold out yung whole month. So parang, paano ako bibili? Parang napipilitan kang mag-travel agent just to get a hotel in that area. Another thing, you are looking for an Umrah visa and then you're looking for a hotel kasi nahihirapan kang mag-book. I'm the girl for you. We also have a hotel that we can offer you during your stay that's actually nearby. Kung saan, dun din ako nag-hotel, dun din kami nag-hotel, and nasa mid-range yung bayad niya. Please do not expect something na mura because I do not offer that. I'm so sorry. So those are the things that you need when it comes to doing DIY Umrah. Sa amin, madali sa amin mag-DIY Umrah. My parents have already built a relationship with a lot of different people in Saudi Arabia that give us the access in doing DIY Umrah freely. So, I'm gonna share that access with the rest of you. If you don't really want to use travel agency kasi parang, the package does not work for you, but you still want to go DIY Umrah, kaya lang meron ka mga sariling preferences, then we can help you with that. I'm going to start something. I'm not so sure paano pa siya, but I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna start something that will help you secure Umrah visa and secure your hotel bookings. Kayo na ang bahala sa rest of it. So, I do not recommend this for someone who's doing Umrah for the first time. Kasi if you are going to Umrah for the first time, the best choice pa rin is mag-travel agency ka with a sheikh. Kasi hindi ka familiar sa kung anong nangyayari. When you finally familiarize yourself with the process of Umrah, kung paano mag-travel in Saudi Arabia, saka ka mag-DIY. Kasi malalaman mo yung mga hindi mo gusto kapag nag-travel agency ka, lalo na kapag yung travel agency mo, they don't really, hindi nila nakikater yung expectation mo. So, minsan ay sana nag-DIY visa na lang ako, pero hindi mo pa rin siya kayang gawin fully. If you have been to Umrah already, and you want to go to Umrah but you don't want na mag-travel agent kasi marami kang hindi gusto, but you still want to go, then we can help you secure your visa, your Umrah visa, and your hotel bookings. The rest of it, yung airline ticket mo, paano ka pupunta ng Makkah, Medina, yung sheikh mo, and mind you, para sa mga taong nakapunta na ng Umrah, your sheikh is not gonna be your babysitter. He is someone na will guide you during the Umrah. I said, diba kanina, yung Umrah, it will only take you a day or a few hours. So, don't expect your sheikh to go with you the whole time. Pag mag-shopping ka, kakain ka, tatawagin mo pa rin si sheikh. No, it's not. A lot of times, nagiging problem yan, na nirereklamo nila yung sheikh nila. Si sheikh, di naman niya kami sinamahan. And he's not your babysitter, okay? Andyan si sheikh nyo para tulungan kayo mag-umrah, para ma-process yung mga papel nyo, para i-guide kayo sa mga ziyara nyo. May mga senior or mga oldies akong dadaanan sa labi na, si Shai kami na miyadap man. Siyempre, bubu, hindi talaga yan magbe-babysitter sa Shai nyo. May mga ginagawa rin siyang ibang bagay. Tapos na yung duty niya sa inyo during the Umrah time. Pero kapag makakain kayo, itatanong nyo kung saan ka bibili ng abaya. Hindi na role ni Shaikh yan. So, I suggest doing DIY Umrah if you have been to Umrah already and you wanted to go again but you wanted to have more freedom in choosing your flight, choosing the date, choosing your hotels, and all of the other things, choosing your time. Yung mga tips ko and tricks when you're doing a DIY Umrah. Other than that, what else pa ba? I really don't know. So, maybe I will make a part 2 of this para dun sa more elaborate experience kung paano kami nag-travel from Makkah, Medina, the bus stations, yung Haramain train, how we traveled to Riyadh, to Dammam, and all of that other travel. I will probably do that on the second part of this video. But for now, those are the basics. Kaya, ayun. I hope you guys like this. And wala na akong ibang masabi. Probably, wala na. Yun na. So, thank you guys so much for listening to this. I'll see you on the next episode of my podcast. Bye!